welcome to A Star to Steer by a Star Trek podcast.
Oh, Jake has gone, wow!
What the fuck was that?
Hello, Windows security. You have things to say.
Oh, Chris, your computer is insecure.
No, it was just telling me that everything was fine.
Oh, I love that.
Everything's okay.
That's thank you.
Seriously.
That was
you,
like when my
Windows.
phone last week was like, okay, I'll do nothing. Well, thanks.
Okay, well, anyway, back to the intro. Hello, and welcome to A Star to Steer Her By.
Do we flatter you?
You flatter me, sir, you flatter me. We are a Star Trek podcast.
Barely.
Mine... oh, boy.
Sometimes.
One of those days.
When we remember.
One of my names...
One of
That's
them.
like I had that.
There are those who
I
call
had
me
just
Tim.
said one of those days, and like one of those was still in my memory buffer, so it just came out with the next thing I said. I don't know.
All right, send Jake down to the planet. We have to reset him.
Yeah,
need
we
some-
need
I
we
need-
need the backup of Jake.
Someone needs to defrag my hard drive.
Decompile. No, that's
Oh,
also the
yeah,
next
that's-
episode,
that's-
son of a
that's-
bitch.
that's
That's also fatal.
That's worse. Anyway, my name is Jake, and I'm joined today by
Chris?
Ames.
And Caitlin.
and Jake. And today we're talking about 2 episodes of Star Trek Voyager: Living Witness and what the fuck was the other one? Anybody?
There was the one where the doctor was woken up. No,
Yeah,
no,
that
that's
was Living Witness, and then the other one was fuck.
Wait, are you at... Oh.
Best.
I feel like it was just an episode where we just have a nice week.
Yeah, I guess
Well,
we
and,
only
like,
did
so
one
there was-
episode this week.
There was like a space battle, and then that was it. I think. It was really short.
Let's check the logs. There's got to be something in the logs.
Hold on. I have something written down on a piece of paper here. It says that we watch an episode called Unforgettable. Hey!
It's really weird that you're using... It's strange to see you using such antiquated methods
know.
of...
It's not like we have
recording.
photographs
Wow.
or anything as well.
Your pen looks really fucking uncomfortable to use. What asshole designed that?
It looks like a salt shaker. Is there any salt in there?
Oh, God. Anywho. Yeah, so we are actually talking about 2 episodes, Unforgettable and Living Witness. But we are going to start with Unforgettable, which I'm seeing here from my handwritten notes that I didn't write. It's directed by our friend,
Yes.
Andrew Robinson.
Yay, we love him.
Who was
Who's that again?
Garrick.
Garrick.
Oh, Derp, idiot.
Don't you call Garrick that.
No, me! Never Garrick.
We're in Unforgettable. I'm actually, this is real, I'm actually struggling to remember parts of this episode, but as I recall, where Voyager's tooling, there was like some extraneous scene at the start where like they were like
Oh yeah,
Harry Kim was nervous about getting a boner in front of Seven.
basically, yeah. I thought we were done with that.
Me too.
So we're still doing that, but whatever. It was a throwaway, like, 10-second scene. I don't even know why it was in the episode, but
Hopefully that's it.
it was there. But after that, we were like, we're picking up, like, a space battle happening all around us. What the fuck? But we can't see any ships. They must be cloaked. And then one of the ships explodes.
Oh, God.
And the other one seems to be very badly damaged, but they can't get a transporter lock on the inhabitant. So Chakotay beams over to check it out, and he finds... Oh, no, first they call.
Yeah.
First they call up, and it's a woman. She
Dear
goes,
Chakotay,
hey,
I miss
Chakotay, I need your help. Please help me. Please come save me.
you. I need your strongman arms.
So it's like, that's weird that this random person on the ship we've never seen before is calling up and knows me by name, but whatever. I guess I'll go over there and see if she's all right. So they go over there. He pries her out from under a beam, a big heavy beam.
I wouldn't have thought him strong enough.
Yeah.
I thought Tuvok should have helped.
He used leverage, so.
He did, yeah.
So science. Fuck yeah. What was the thing? Math. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Behold the power of math.
And cheese.
I like science.
I like turtles.
Anyway, so
I
Chakotay
like
scienced her out of there, and that is the end of the science in this episode.
What do you mean? There's so much science that isn't bullshit.
Which is Chakotay's use of basic physics. That's it. So yeah, anyway, we get this woman back to the ship. She's kind of banged up. She's got some kind of neurological problem, but the doctor gets her pretty much fixed. But he's like, I can't even scan her with my instruments, so I just have to do it the old-fashioned way with my holographic eyes. Anyway.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
That's great. great.
Wait, yeah, that doesn't make any
The
sense. Go
doctor
on.
is a fucking scanner.
Yeah, he's just... Sorry, we'll get to that when you're done. Sorry.
Anywho.
We don't have any nurses in the station, so he doesn't have help.
Yeah, I'm surprised the doctor was like, wait, there's no patient here. What was this like playing a joke on me? I don't see anyone.
This isn't funny.
Yeah, so it turns out that, so this woman wakes up and she knows the captain, she knows Chakotay, and basically what she explains is that she is a member of a race of people who biologically are completely forgettable. You meet them, you spend time with them, you bang them, and then within a few hours, you just forget you ever saw them.
No long-term memory engrams.
And
so they tried to science.
They tried.
Real hard.
But it also interferes with sensors and transporters and things. But basically, it's like a survival mechanism. Their species is just completely, utterly forgettable. And they even, like, codified it in their society that, like, you can't leave. We're very insular. We're very...
But we still have warp-capable ships.
Yeah, we're xenophobic. You can't leave the...
That is strange.
So it turns out
this is a
that...
very strange episode.
Basically, she's like, listen, I want asylum on Voyager because I want to get away from these fucking weirdos.
And closer to Chakotay.
I was here.
Love.
I was here a month ago, and, because I was hunting another escapee from our society, and I did find him with the help of Chakotay, but then I fell in love with Chakotay, and he fell in love with me. A lot of and Bob's your uncle. And,
Bob?
I forgot.
He's your uncle.
Oh, Bob Picardo.
Yes. Bob Beltran.
I was going to make that joke. Get out of my brain.
Yeah, that's basically the setup. The rest of the episode is sort of Chakotay being like, I don't remember you. You say I love you, but I have no fucking clue. But they fall back in love with each other. A lot of romance, a lot of ooey gooey shit, kissing. But now, it turns out, now she's being hunted. And that's why they were trying to blow her up at the beginning. But like Voyager's being followed, so she's gonna try to like reconfigure some shit to make it so Voyager can see the other ships and blow them up, and Harry Kim figures out a way to make it so that their weapons can't penetrate the shields and
penetrate.
Yeah, that's not the only thing being penetrated. Hey.
Ew.
So yeah, so this goes on for a while, but of course the enemy, or her people, I guess, catch up and get on board, and they're also hard to find if they're on your ship because they have like personal cloaking technology. So
Like the Voth.
Like the Jem'Hadar, who we hate.
but way better than the Jem'Hadar. They don't even have the weird blurry thing. You don't see them. So yeah, her people catch up to him. And then they hit her with the old memory beam. So
I thought you were going to say the old razzle dazzle.
a little bit of that.
Oh, wow. Oh, dear. That was so in the red.
Yeah, so when these people go rogue, these special police, of which she was one and now is running from, they have a ray gun that can cause themselves, their fellow members of their species to also lose their memory. So they hit her up with that, and then she forgets Chakotay.
Oh, no.
And now the shoe's on the other foot, and Chakotay's like, but don't you love me? And she's like, I don't fucking know who you are, dude. Leave me the fuck alone.
You're being fucking creepy, bro.
Fucking weirdo. And the other, memory cop is like, yep, see? She's already forgotten you. I guess we'll just leave. And Chakotay's like, well, now I have a sad.
Dear diary.
And even though, like, he could just totally do nothing and completely forget the incident ever happened, he's like, no, I want to remember being in this fucking emotional pit of despair.
I want to torture myself.
So I'm going to physically write down on this old-fashioned piece of paper with this fucking weird pen,
The worst fucking
a letter to myself telling me about how much I love this girl. I could have taken a picture of her.
I could have tattooed it somewhere else on my body.
I
Heart Kellen. What does that mean?
I
don't
probably could
remember.
have dictated this letter to the computer and then had it replicate a piece of paper with it printed on it.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. That's smart.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's great.
Or
Ooh,
hell,
hi, kitty.
replicate a fucking stone tablet with it engraved on it. Well, I don't care.
I thought you meant for him to chisel into it. I was going to be like, Jake, that's way more fucking work. What are we talking about?
But yeah, and that's sort of where we end. Neelix comes over. He's like, hey, what's he doing, buddy? He's like, I'm trying to remember the pain.
No, I totally get that, though. That's what I would do.
Remember the pain?
Like, I want to cry later. Let me write this down.
This is just one of those cases of a really interesting premise,
Right?
but not a good episode.
Yeah, like I was thinking of the episode Clues from TNG. Another, we've lost our memories.
Oh, that's a good one.
But we can tell something's wrong, and Data won't tell us. Damn it, Data. But they're trying to figure it out as they go. And this one, it felt like they were trying to do that, but with like a flashback scene.
Oh, that one! I'm sorry. I was thinking of the one... I forgot about that one. That's good one, too. No, I was thinking of the one where they, like, the aliens wiped their memories.
Oh, that one.
Oh,
They
Conundrum?
were trying to fool them into blowing up their
That's
enemy.
another good one. The way that they could tell something was going on. They have to reform their memories and all this thing.
Worf thought he was the captain for 2 minutes and was very pleased.
It's also kind of like that one. What the fuck is that one called? Where Riker falls in love with the woman who's a woman, but she's part of a non-binary species, and they wipe her memory so she won't love him anymore, or they brainwash her back into not loving him anymore.
Yeah, that's where they brainwash her into not.
Well, whatever. It's similar. It's about a number one having a sad. I think it counts.
But yeah, like the idea here is interesting. Reading about the synopsis, I was like, I'm gonna hate this episode. But then it's like, try to remember someone who has claimed that you had this big emotional connection to is an interesting thread of an idea.
Yeah.
They didn't nail it because we never saw them fall in love.
Yeah, it's like, it's not even that they didn't stick the landing, they didn't stick any part of the routine. Like, they started running up to the what are those things called? The springboard. But before they could even get to that, they like twisted their ankle, fell down, face planted into the springboard, got flopped onto their back, went ow, and that was it.
Yeah, I wish they'd cut the flashbacks for one thing, because we never see flashbacks in Star Trek really.
Mm-hmm.
Not too often.
And they stuck out because you didn't learn anything from them.
No.
It would have been much more easy and effective for Kellen to create a new rapport with Chakotay than for us to see what their old rapport was, and it was boring.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
See, I think, and I guess this would have made it a different episode, but if instead, if because she should be aware that they're not going to remember her. I mean, she is. So she shouldn't even pretend. She shouldn't even try. And then, rebuild the relationship that she had with him. And then it sort of comes out throughout the episode that, wait a minute, like, there's deja vu.
Yeah, why does she know this stuff about
she seems
me?
to know a lot of weird stuff. And then it's like, oh, shit, she's been here before.
That's a more interesting episode.
We've done this. And maybe we didn't do it just once. Maybe it's been like a long time. Maybe she's been visiting us for years.
I mean, I like that she's not like an antagonistic character.
No, but like maybe she's somebody that Chakotay has seen many times.
That's the thing. I feel like I would have maybe bought it a bit more if, like, the memory wipe wasn't perfect. Like, if there was this, like, wait a minute.
I feel like I know you.
Yeah, like the fact that it's established that this species, the Remora, can let loose this kind of computer virus to wipe any mentions of them and from the computer logs and shit.
And somehow their pheromones fuck up electronic equipment.
Yeah, that's
pissed me off so much.
That was unnecessary. Like, losing your memories should have been the only thing that happens, and that I would have
accepted begrudgingly.
Yeah, basically.
Like that, sure.
It's like they over-egged all of the puddings, which
Chakotay
doesn't
hates.
like.
Well, I mean, and these basically are. It's basically the same people from Clues, because if you recall, their whole thing was...
I don't remember, so...
What's
my memory?
So, to refresh everyone's memory, in Clues, it's a xenophobic species that whenever they encounter another species in space, or somebody comes into contact with them, they kill them. Because they don't want word of their existence to get out. But Picard sweet talks him into being like, no, just wipe our memories, and we'll delete it from our logs. I'll order Data to never reveal it, and he's a fucking robot, so he'll never break that order, except when he does.
Fucking robots.
Love you, Data.
And then they're like, all right, fine, we'll begrudgingly let you live, and then they fuck it up. But like, it's the same idea, except like they have to take active measures to like delete it from the logs.
There should have been clues that like Tuvok and Janeway could have seen in hindsight. Like, why do we have a half a day from a month ago that's kind of like missing what should be chunks of something.
I think would have been cool, and again, I'm just writing a different episode here, is like if it was like a deja vu sort of experience, and that, you know, so like
Cute.
yeah, so like Chakotay's like, oh, this is so familiar, and then like maybe she has an injury or something. Or, like, she has a bruise in, like, the exact spot where the corner of Chakotay's table is. And
I said she should just have a tramp stamp that says property of Chakotay.
Yeah.
Don't tell him only half of it. You said specifically that points to her asshole. Is what
Oh, why does it point to her asshole?
Well,
So, yeah,
Keep
he was
as much of that as you
he
want,
was really
Chris.
into her coochie moya.
Oh, no, that's good. One thing I did like, though, from this episode was that, you know, Chakotay's at the end to the other Tracer is like, tell me how it works. And I went, what? Like, dude, just because he uses it, it'd be like if he said to you, tell me how your tricorder works. And then the guy was like, if I knew how it worked, I still wouldn't. It's like, yeah, it's good. Just because he uses a tool.
Yeah, Chris, tell me how this laptop works.
Right, exactly. Like,
magic.
I mean, the problem, of course, is, like, I feel like in other episodes of Star Trek, we probably have had things where people use a tool but know everything about it.
True.
But it was nice that for once, it was just like, the guy's just like, I don't fucking know. I was handed it. What?
They wiped my memory, so I don't remember.
Son of a bitch.
Like, I pointed out who I want to forget things and pull the button. Like, what do you want me to say here, Dick?
Yeah, what I liked from this episode, 2 really good Neelix scenes.
Yes.
They just pop up every so often. I'm like, right, Neelix actually has a good outside perspective on different matters. Like, Chakotay goes to Neelix saying, like, man, I don't trust Kellen yet, you know, all this thing. I'm going to fall in love with her because of course I am, because I'm Chakotay. And I fall in love with literally everything I set my eyes on. And Neelix said, well, maybe it's yourself you don't trust. Which is a good Neelix observation.
Yeah.
And the end bit, where Neelix tells him, like, I wrote down the line because it was really good. If we could define love, it would lose its power.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, damn, good for you, Neelix.
It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, if you actually just look at it, if you wrote down that monologue, it would look a little cheesy. But he delivered it really well.
Yeah, he's so earnest.
Counteracted it.
He's actually a super good actor.
Yeah. He's
He's
underrated.
very good.
Like, if they had got the wrong person, Neelix would have almost nothing redeeming. But he's phenomenal. And that's as close as I'll ever come to saying I like Neelix.
Ethan Phillips does a good job with Neelix.
He does.
I thought okay, here's like a little thing that bothered me about the show.
Only a little thing? I mean...
Speaking of little things, how every time Seven is around somebody with a boner, she has to remark about it.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, like, maybe that's why fucking Harry Kim doesn't want to work with her.
Is she just all day that they're working together? She's like, Harry Kim, you're flushed again. Harry Kim, your skin is flushed. You
Pants
flushed.
are tight.
Hey guys, has anybody noticed that Harry Kim's skin is a little pink?
Maybe when it comes down to it, she doesn't really know how to flirt yet, and that's
Or
her
gossip.
trying.
She's gossiping
Or that.
and flirting, and she thinks they're the same thing. And she says, well, if they like each other, why don't they just plow? And Harry's like, Jesus Christ, don't talk to me about this.
Also, what was it? Sardonic Tuvok Day.
Yes!
Which
Oh,
was
his
pretty, where she's like, I
great
would
jokes!
not like to speculate.
Some good
And then
Tuvok
later,
stuff.
Was this the episode where... Yeah, are you talking about the 2 jokes where he's like, she should totally work in the kitchen with Neelix?
Yeah.
After Chakotay has literally described the perfect security officer.
Yeah. I mean, to me, at first I thought he was being semi-serious just because, like, he probably still doesn't fully trust her because why would you?
True.
You wouldn't.
Like, they did believe her a little too easily in some regards, I felt like.
That's why there should have been clues that they could
Exactly.
follow.
Like, that would have been
That's what it would have needed. It needed that.
You know, because I said at one point, like, you know, her logs could have been falsified. And, like, her logs could have been falsified, but we don't think she did because...
And literally, it was immediate, just like that. Like,
Yeah.
he literally said it, and then they said it.
Yeah, it was like, what the heck? Also, at the end, I said, like, this is all ruined when it turns out some Luddite ensign keeps their log on paper. And then Chakotay is writing in his journal.
that's the big fucking hole in this whole species thing, because I am sure, maybe Starfleet has completely abandoned any form of paper record keeping, but I'm sure there are other species out there that have, like, physical copies of logs or photographs that are printed, you know.
Nope, they wipe, like in Back to the Future.
Here's the thing. There's one thing we know for certain. and the universe is lucky, the Borg have never assimilated these motherfuckers.
Mm.
Because they got super good cloaks, both
Right.
personal and ship-based cloaks that you can fire while using. Like, imagine particle weapons that no one has ever been able to shield against.
If the Borg did assimilate one, would then the Borg gain their power?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
To
Like,
not be
holy
remembered
shit.
by folk?
imagine how much worse it would be if, like, you couldn't learn from every encounter with
Yeah,
them.
the
Or-
whole universe would be
Well,
Borg.
yeah, imagine how awful it would be if it's like, why is our entire civilization destroyed? What happened?
Yeah. Or maybe, I feel like maybe they purposely avoid them because if anyone is a bit of a
Hard ass.
fame whore,
Oh.
it's maybe to an extent the Borg Queen. She's like, no, I need people to know who we are. I will not tolerate just winning. People need to know who has won.
I mean, I don't think it's just the Borg Queen. I think it's the Borg in general. They're big on branding.
True, they really are. But yeah, no.
It's because they assimilated Apple in early days.
But yeah, I imagine they have not assimilated these guys because the Borg would be an even bigger threat. Even if they couldn't somehow adapt the pheromones, everything else these people have would be a nightmare.
Yeah, the technology alone, like the Forget Me Ray.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that in the wrong hands.
Mm. And again, though, if you're a super xenophobic race, why have warp-capable ships?
To chase down the people who try to leave on their warp cape. Nope.
Yep.
Confusing.
Yep.
Don't
Mhm.
get it.
Like, I don't remember
Maybe
much
they
of the-
need trade.
If they can't. They don't need to trade. They can steal, and then the people will forget.
Yeah,
they
Well,
I'm
then
guessing-
they-
I'm
then they
guessing
need to
that's
be
what it is.
able
I'm
to
guessing
steal
they
then.
use their ships to
Oh
go
my
and
God.
steal resources.
They are the most bitchin' pirates.
right.
Yeah.
Make the Orions look like
Wait, see,
chumps.
now, like, that would have been a cooler thing. Like, if they
Yeah.
introduced something like that in the episode, where it's like, no, she's not like a,
Tracer.
she's not a tracer. She's a Winston.
Thank you. I was trying to think of an Overwatch joke.
No.
Oh, I didn't get it.
Yeah, she's not a tracer. She's a pirate, and she was stealing from Voyager. And when Chakotay caught her, and then they fell in love that way. So she's trying to leave that life and start a new life on Voyager. But her pirate clan or whatever is like, no, nobody leaves.
Nah.
Yeah, and then they could have just killed her.
Is part of the pirate.
Arr, you can't leave it, lest ye forget.
Yeah, here's like a
Have you forgotten our rules? Yes.
Nice. No, here's kind of a paradox that comes up because what Kellen says is a tracer never goes home empty-handed. The disgrace would be too great. But if you don't go home empty-handed, then you're still out there, in which case you've left.
Well, I think they mean leaving as in expatriating, not just leaving the planet, no?
But they leave to go fetch somebody. If they come back without somebody, that just means they haven't come back. In which case, they themselves have...
That hurts my head.
I
Right?
think what they were trying to say is they either
They
come
always
home
get their man.
successful or they're dead.
Oh, they're dead. I didn't think of dead.
Yeah, like those ones that came after her that she kerblued.
Aha.
Kerblued. So, other actually vaguely interesting thing. I was sitting there, I was like, this woman's familiar.
She's the daughter of the Emperor of the Known Universe.
Yes! But also, because I looked up her filmography after that, she was in the original Candyman movie with Tony Todd.
Oh, no shit.
Ah.
Yeah.
Was she the
No idea,
the
never
main,
seen
the
it.
main woman? Okay.
She was in it, that's all I know.
I just remember, I don't remember tons about that movie. I probably haven't seen it in 20 years, but it
Is it a horror movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it feels like it must be.
Yeah, it's like
I've
an
never seen
inner
it.
city theme, and I want to say
We talked about it a few weeks
I
ago.
might be conflating it with Dangerous Minds.
I hate when you do that.
That's a
Yeah.
very different film.
It's a very different film, but like thematically, they got similarities. Weirdly,
But yeah, she's in that, and actually apparently has like a voice cameo in the like recent soft reboot they did.
Oh, of Candyman.
Yes, sorry.
I'm like, of what?
I was also wondering of what.
Star Trek Voyager.
Oh god, but back to bad things.
Good.
What was with the broken glass that was clearly green screened in later?
Was it?
It was not part of the original image. You could tell when you looked at it.
Oh, I didn't
Well,
look.
maybe you can.
I was just like, they only showed it for a split second. And in that split second, it was like, not green screen. I can't think of the word I want. Composited in later. It's like that, what? You didn't have a broken glass?
And also, I was
back
gonna say,
then?
and also imagine that the broken glass that you had was bad enough that you wanted to do shitty compositing instead.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really weird.
I don't
Yeah,
think that
well,
broken
maybe-
glass is believable.
I mean, maybe because glass is transparent, maybe it just didn't show up, and they were like, "Fuck, we had this great breaking glass thing." And
Yeah, because the one they showed was like a dark blue, so maybe that's what. Maybe the original just looked fucked up.
or just you couldn't see it well enough.
Yeah, that could be it.
Well, either way, sloppy job, Star Trek. We're
You
all
know,
disappointed.
so also on that actress, I was a little distracted at the start because she kind of had this similar look to and similar voice of Jennifer Lean.
Oh, I was thinking the same thing with
And
the long.
yeah.
No,
When she had
long hair.
when she had long hair, and like her voice was also
And
very
a little
similar.
bit,
And the
yeah.
funny ear was the only thing that was different.
Yeah.
Well, a
okay.
different kind
A
of
different
funny
kind of
ear.
funny
Yep.
ear.
New
For a
funny ear.
split second, I thought it was Borg Girlfriend.
Mm.
Oh, Riley.
I was like, is that Seska? The fuck?
Well, but it was just a foot, yeah.
No, I asked it when he could just hear her.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
like,
that-
who
yeah,
else would
yeah.
be asking for
Yeah, who
Chakotay
knows
way out
Chakotay,
here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
When she was just a foot, you called her the Wicked Witch.
Ah.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. He like landed on her, and I was like, "Oh, it's the Wicked Witch of the West." And then I was mad because I meant the Wicked Witch of the East.
But yeah, it was again, good concept, but
Right? Yeah.
It
It's
didn't
like I could
quite
find so
work.
many better ways to have done this episode.
it's interesting because years later, Doctor Who will do an alien people can't remember,
The
and it
silence.
also fell
Dang it.
horribly flat. It was not used well.
Yeah, it's a hard concept to get right, I think, because
Yeah.
Because you keep forgetting as you're
Well,
writing
well,
it.
like, and like the mechanics of it, like you have to create all kinds of stupid rules,
Yeah,
to let the
to make it work.
to make there be, because otherwise there won't be a drama.
Yeah.
you know.
yeah, and
And you have to break certain rules just to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it
the
gets-
doctor
it
can
gets-
see her with his eyes.
yeah, which again, that didn't even occur to me. But yeah,
Yeah,
he
that's
has nothing
brilliant.
but sensors, just given a humanoid shell with light. Like,
Yeah, well, we don't. Yeah, we don't.
but how many times we said they forget the Doctor?
Yeah.
they don't.
And also, like the
Magic.
doctor's, like, because when he's in his mobile emitter, is it the mobile emitter that's sensing? Like,
Yeah,
like,
well,
how does
yeah.
it fucking work?
Oh, God.
Or does
My
like,
brain.
or are they actually holographically creating
Ooh.
working eyeballs? You know.
Yes. That one.
And yeah, again, like that. What? There's a famous anecdote about the first episode of TNG
And then I found $5.
where it's like they were talking about the scene where they're in the holodeck and Wesley falls in the river and he comes out and someone tosses him a towel.
Mm.
And when they were writing the episode, all right, so he's gonna walk into this like archway and it's gonna dry him off and this and that. And Gene Roddenberry goes, "How about somebody just gives him a towel?" It's like not everything needs to be future. And that's all I can think when we cut to Chakotay's idiot pen for jerks.
Yeah.
Like,
Idiot
give
Idiot
him
pen
a
for-
pen! Just a, like, all right, you want to paint
Crayon.
it silk?
Marker.
So it's funny. It's funny you should say crayon because I was talking. This led me to be like, just give him a fucking pencil. It doesn't have to be a stupid space pen like NASA invented. And then Chris was like, well, they actually did have to make a pen because
That's true.
The
because
graphite.
of graphite. And I was like, okay, use lead instead. He was like, I mean, same problem. And I was like, fine. And then I said, well, what about fucking crayons? And he was like, no one's gonna take crayons.
I will.
A report seriously.
I'm
It's
gonna
written in
do it. I'm gonna
crayons.
bring crayons into space.
They tried Sharpies, but the astronauts kept getting high.
But, like, seriously, like, what was that pen? What the fuck
It
was
was-
that
I
It
pen?
don't
really
know.
did look like a salt.
Like, if
shaker.
you even just wanted to take a Bic, paint it silver and shit, you want to put a blinky light on a Bic? Fine.
Were there really like a lot of mechanical pencils at this time? This is 1998. When did mechanical pencils get banned?
Oh, yeah,
pencils have been around for decades.
I remember kids having one when I was in elementary school.
Okay,
so.
okay.
But, like, seriously, just why was it? Again, I think it really was. It's like they took one of the salt shakers that they would normally turn into a fucking medical scanner and stuck a tip on it. It's
Yeah.
what is this? This is as stupid as your flashlights. Well, the old ones. Now they wear them on the rip. The fucking cube ones.
Yeah, those things.
I thought you loved those.
It was as bad as that gun Tom Paris had a couple of weeks ago. Oh yeah, this is really comfortable.
Yeah, I also don't know why it would be so weird to write something down on paper. Like, it doesn't strike me as...
Well, I wonder if it's just because Neelix hasn't ever seen someone do it.
There's no
Yeah.
way that it's not still easier in the future to write math by hand like that.
Well,
And these are scientists. They must do
I
math all the
imagine,
fucking
like,
time.
when you have a
think the
pad, you
computer
can
does it
you
for
can
them.
use a stylus, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
but-
I got to admit, I mean, what? It's 2022.
Mm.
I almost never use a pen anymore. the few times I need one, I'm like, fuck, where's their goddamn pen?
Oh yeah, there was a couple years ago, I started briefly doing a pen pal thing with a friend of mine, and I realized, wow, I have to type it up on a computer first so that then I can write it, because I don't write stream of consciousness on paper. And secondly, like, my hand cramps
so
after
quickly.
one fucking paragraph.
So quickly.
How did I used to do this in high school?
Yeah, no, it's crazy how
Well, you had the muscle back then.
Exactly,
easy
yeah.
it is to just... And by then, they have perfect speech-to-text.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they must, huh?
But also, like, it must be possible.
Oh, yeah.
To have to do a speech to text, or even just like do anything and have the computer
Print it. It'd be really fun. Oh, God. This feels like it'd be a
Put it on a decorative pillow and put it in Chakotay's room.
Oh, or that.
Chris joked about making it into like a tablet that he could then like engrave on or something. Like a stone tablet. Remember you said that? No, you did earlier.
I did?
At home.
I believe you. I just... And joking aside, I don't remember that.
I made the same joke during the intro.
But,
Oh. Well, I forgot. That's also not a joke.
But yeah, I feel like it'd be a really bad, like, sounds like a Lower Decks joke, but they do speech to text, and then it comes out, but it's like a 1980s dot matrix printer, complete with the fucking side tabs.
And it makes that sound.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of miss that sound.
Those still exist. They still use dot matrix printers in a lot of fields.
Yeah, well, I think so they can do like triplicate because they can do the carbonless paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing about this episode, I know the writers wanted to make sure, like, okay, we're not going to bother doing Chakotay / Janeway anymore. That ship has sailed.
Thank God.
No one was interested except for this one pocket of fans we're ignoring. We're just going to make it clear, nope, Chakotay has boners all for everybody else now. Done.
And again, I would get it if she was into it, because the man gives good tub.
He does. Great tub.
Yeah, he does good tub. Although I kind of wish that they had, like, because Chakotay gets all the women. Like, every time there's a...
Tom sometimes gets a woman.
But you don't want Tom to get a woman.
And then he gets framed for murder. Like,
well, and then he's like,
But he's already with B'Elanna.
Yeah, and that's why it's nice that Tom has B'Elanna.
The old ball and chain.
But, like, I don't know. Maybe a Harry Kim would have been interesting.
Oh, yeah, is she on, like, maternity leave
Yeah,
still?
she just
that's
whelped
what
the
she
child.
was.
It occurred to me she hadn't been in either.
She's gone this week.
Which only made me... I only thought because in the next episode they kind of talk about her for a minute.
Yeah, they're like, B'Elanna, where are you? B'Elanna?
Which is a shame, because seeing not Mirror B'Elanna would have been something.
Yeah, next episode.
Yes, I know.
What were we literally just saying?
Janeway.
Chakotay getting all the women.
Yeah.
Should have been Janeway.
Janeway getting all the women?
Janeway should have had the woman.
Oh, yeah.
See, I don't know. I think the last time Harry got all the women in Favorite Son, it was just like,
Well, it was cringy
not
because
this.
it was the episode itself was kind of gross.
But honestly, it would have been super ahead of their time to make him like a romantic focus. As we know, it just doesn't happen very much.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, because like the one good example was John Cho and Selfie.
Yeah, that's the thing. It does feel like that, though. They're like, all right, fine. I get we've had Tom settle down. We need a new guy to get alien ladies, and you feel like poor fucking Harry just wasn't even considered. And they were like, well, we can't do...
He's pretty cute, you know?
We can't do Tuvok because he's a Vulcan.
And he's married.
And like they already set up that like he's got this awkward boner around 7, so having him have a different girlfriend would have been nice.
Yeah,
and
then
maybe,
they
and then
could...
it would have made maybe
Or would it be more awkward?
Well, no, I think it would have been a graceful exit
from
That'd
the
be nice.
from
idiot
the 7
storyline that no
bullshit.
one wants.
It's like, oh, okay. The one thing he does remember is that he was in love with a proper
Was it
person and not a weird.
Was it
board
the
lady.
hollow program in the Paxar Resort?
Yeah, what was she again? A tennis instructor? What was she?
Some kind of
surfboarding?
surfboarding or sailboarding or some kind of water thing.
Water
You
sports?
almost said water
Oh
sports.
God!
I bet she taught him a few things about water sports too, yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the last thing I know that the last line that Kellen has in the episode, she's saying she tells Chakotay, "You were very nice. I won't forget that." And I'm like, that's a damn good way to phrase that and make it kind of buttony, but not too buttony.
Yeah, that's true.
Good for her.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I like that. That was a graceful exit.
Yeah.
Speaking of graceful exits,
Let's gracefully exit this episode and talk
Please.
about another one.
there you go.
Ayo.
You found it.
The least graceful segue we've had.
Not by a
Yeah.
fucking mile, and you know it.
That's true. Okay, yeah, so following that, we'll be talking about the next episode of Voyager, Living Witness, right after these messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and there'd be that
It was
ad from the Cheese Council.
Cheese Council.
You don't remember that one? They played it all the time on, I think, ABC on Saturday morning cartoons.
I also don't remember it.
I'm just picturing the Cheese Council as being like a
group of munchkins.
No.
Wizard of
I'm
Oz?
picturing more like you go into some giant office building and you get before the Cheese Council and they're like sitting really high up and it's like 5 shadowy figures,
all made of cheese.
Well, you like bring them your cheese
There
and they
it is.
determine if it's good cheese or not.
Well, good
Now
news,
I
it's
want some
on.
cheese. You guys got any cheese?
It's on YouTube, so assuming this segment stays in, I'm sharing it.
Oh,
Okay.
Christ.
And maybe even if this segment doesn't stay in, I'm going to share it just to
All right,
confuse
hold on.
people.
We're almost back from
Yeah,
commercial in 5, 4, 3. Welcome back to A Star to Steer Her By. Next, we're going to be talking about Season 4, Episode 23 of
Holy
Star
shit,
Trek
really?
Voyager.
Yeah,
we're
we're
getting
almost
there.
done.
We're getting up
Fuck.
there. Living Shitless. Living Witless. Living Witness. That's right, folks. You heard it
The
here first.
Doctor doesn't shit.
What's happening?
Okay, so in Living Witness, which is incidentally directed by our friend Tim Russ.
Oh, he does a great job.
And he does a very good job with what I think was a very good episode. But what was it about? I'll tell you what it was about. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
So tell me what you want. What you really, really want.
I want to tell you about this episode is what I want to do.
Doesn't seem like it, Jake.
So yeah,
I think you want a zig-a-zig razzle-dazzle.
Oh god.
The old razzle dazzle.
So in Living Witless, we open the episode and we see Janeway, but she's not quite Janeway. She's got this this short haircut.
Oh, it looks good.
It looks good. It's a
I
good
kind of
look.
want to keep it.
Got like instead of wearing a like the purple undershirt, she's wearing a black turtleneck.
She's got kinky gloves.
She's got kinky leather
Yeah,
gloves.
we talked about the uniforms back in our Starfleet uniform chat.
like-
Links below.
Like, basically, this is the Janeway you want to stomp on your balls, is what I'm saying. And she'll be happy to do it.
How does she compare to Intendant Kira?
Well, it's funny you should mention
there's
this.
no fucking
yeah, that's true. I
comparison.
mean, yeah, Intendant Kira is. If I'm having my balls stomped on,
Oh God,
I
she
mean,
can do
can-
whatever she
can-
wants to my balls.
can we have them do one ball each? Or like,
Christ.
how do we do this?
But I feel like here's the difference. I think Kira would do it with like a high-heeled boot, and I feel like Janeway would have like a chunky.
Steel
heel.
Yeah, like a
So you'd have two
yeah,
different
like
types.
a
You're
Doc
right, or
Martens.
that she could do a pull back and kick you in the nuts,
Ah.
while Kira grinds her little heel on your nuts. You know what
You're
I mean?
right. You're right.
What is
Either way,
happening?
boners, lots of
Anyway.
boners.
So yeah, so we open the episode. We have our cold open here. We have
You better
evidently
fucking leave that in. Don't you dare take it out.
evidently we're in some alternate universe
Janeway
dark
says.
Voyager. Oh god. The boot?
I love where this has gone.
So
Thank God. Go ahead.
yeah,
Jacob,
so Janeway, she's talking with some guy, and the guy's like, "Yeah, I want you to take care of my enemies for me," and she's like, "Yeah, I'll take care of your fucking enemies.
Have you been a good boy?
Yeah.
How dare you speak
Oh,
without permission?
I'll take you. What's in it for me? Do I get to stomp on your balls or what?" So Intendant Janeway is evidently very evil, and she's making a deal with some guy who's going to give her access to a secret wormhole, and all she has to do is like destroy his enemies.
I couldn't say his balls. I really thought you were going to say destroyed his balls. I'm sorry, but I...
Well, technically, if you destroy the enemies, their balls will probably be destroyed as well.
That's a good point, yeah.
So,
Yep.
Moving forward.
and then we go, and when we go and we meet the rest of the crew who are also like evil versions of themselves. We meet the doctor has data eyes.
Oh, yeah, he's an android in this version.
Yeah.
That shit was so creepy, and he had that like
He had,
transponder thing
shit
in the back
stuck
of his
in his
head.
Chakotay's his tattoo goes on his whole face.
Excuse me, it's Chakotay.
Oh yeah, it's Chakotay.
Thank you.
They say his name with an accent in this version.
Yeah, Tuvok's ears are slightly bigger.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, he had
I didn't
like
even
little
notice
he had like
that.
little
Points,
pointy
yeah.
bits on them,
Damn
extra
it.
points. Yeah, it
I
was,
gotta go back now.
and he smiles like a
loved it.
wicked man.
Tim Russ is a handsome man.
He is.
Somebody let Neelix on the bridge, so we know we're in some fucked up reality.
No, the most fucked up part is a Kazon in a Star.
Oh yeah, there was
Yes!
a Kazon.
I don't know. Felix? Neelix on the bridge might be worse.
If the Borg wouldn't assimilate them, evil Janeway wouldn't hire them.
Yeah, Seven is still like fully Borg and has
Great.
a team of Borgs that she goes to kill
I
people
love
with.
them so much.
So basically, we're in the mirror universe, it should seem, until we pull back and, we're not in the mirror universe, we're in a museum. And apparently, this is the museum of Kyrian, I think, Kyrian?
Yeah, Kyrian.
Yeah,
history.
Kyrian heritage. And the tour guide is explaining how, Voyager fucked up our planet big time 700 years ago. And
the audience is like, what?
and the audience is like, what? And like, there's a couple people. So there's a couple Kyrians in the audience, and they got like.
They're like, this is all correct.
But then there's a couple of the other people who are the.
That I don't remember.
The
It's
other-
on the
D
card.
something.
D's nuts.
The Daleth?
No, that's the
Vankins?
guy.
No,
the
there's-
Vaskins. Vaskins. The Vaskins.
More
Oh.
like the Force.
The Vaskins who kind of have like a werewolfy look to them.
That's
See, I
like
actually-
seashell
I
face.
actually kind of got like a turtle shell vibe
Yeah,
from
a
their
little bit. Yeah,
forehead
that's
nose
true.
combo.
Yeah, and the Kyrians are saying, no CRT in classrooms!
Basically what we gradually find out is that these are two species that kind of coexist on this planet, but they've never really gotten along. Seems like the Vaskins might be oppressing them, maybe, but we don't really know. But it seems that way. And the Kyrians kind of are second-class citizens, but ultimately the Kyrians kind of put a lot of their situation on Voyager, and Voyager came and like destroyed our fucking war hero 700 years ago, and we haven't like gotten back since. It's just totally fucked us up. So the museum curator guy, he has this artifact that they found from the some ruins, and he's like, he's analyzing the artifact, and he's like, there's some kind of data on this thing. It's like a fucking
No, it's the EMH.
He's like, it's a hologram, and then he turns it on, and it's the EMH.
Da Vinci, oh, damn it.
Yeah, it could have been Da Vinci.
That would have sucked.
Katarina would never do this.
Okay, I would have paid money for that.
So the doctor, so he's like, oh my god, you're the fucking doctor. I thought you were an android. And he's like, well, I'm not a fucking android. And he's like, also, you're a war criminal. We're going to put you on trial, and you're probably going to get, the death penalty.
Ruh-roh.
And he's like, why? And then he plays the video for him. He's like, this isn't what happened at all.
Your fanfic sucks.
Yeah, this is really bad. So
Should listen to Stardust Steer Her by fanfic instead.
yeah.
Links below. Wait, no.
So the doctor.
Smash that like and subscribe button.
So the doctor tries to set the record straight, and to his credit, the Kyrian Quarren, I guess, is that on? Yeah, Quarren, who is the curator, has an open mind and is like, listen, I'm not, I might have misjudged. We reconstructed this history based on like scant evidence and filling in our own mythology. So yeah, all right, well, listen.
Lots of bias.
Yeah, very biased.
And I loved when the doctor had his line about like, it's really comforting rewriting history to suit your like, what makes you happy and shit. I was like, so good.
Yeah, so
we're still in the intro, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll shut the fuck up.
So
I'm
yeah,
so sorry,
anyway,
Jake.
I'll wrap this up. So basically, the doctor creates his own version of the simulation, and he shows it to some people, like the government, and they're like, yeah, this is bullshit, and obviously this is propaganda that you're just trying to save your own ass. And he's like, no, this is what happened. And then the news gets out that the Kyrian narrative has been blown up by the doctor. So there's like riots and race riots, and people are freaking out, and they
Getting killed.
They trash the museum, and the doctor is like, you know what? It's not fucking worth it. I want to clear Voyager's good name, but honestly, if it's gonna cause the society to destroy itself in fucking strife, then it's I don't care.
No, the doctor says that.
That's what I
doesn't he?
said.
Oh, I thought
yeah.
you said. I'm sorry.
And he's like, just kill me.
Yeah,
I don't give a
noble
shit.
sacrifice.
I'll show you how to kill me. I don't want to be responsible for ending your society. And then the curator's like, no, fuck no. The truth is important, and we're gonna get it right. So evidently, it kind of happens off screen, but we then fast forward to an indeterminate time in the distant future where there's a different museum curator, and she's like, yeah, and that was the beginning of our new civilization. These two men.
We live in Doctorland now.
Yeah, the doctor became our surgeon general, and then he left after many years to try to go to Earth, and
back to Mars.
Back to Mars. Yeah, that was a goofy joke, but,
That was a good
but
joke.
I liked it.
Yeah. So, what a great way to do the mirror universe without doing the mirror universe.
Yes, because after DS9, fucking sick of the mirror universe.
Well, in this way, they weren't constrained by any of the continuity of the mirror universe.
Also true. And they don't have to make it make sense and be like, what's the butterfly effect would have thrown the entire mirror universe out of proportion. None of this would work. But no, this is literally
straight up fan fiction.
Historians writing fan fiction.
Yeah, and you don't
slightly
need...
based. Yeah, it's historical fiction. It's like when someone writes a romance, but it's sort of around the Battle of Waterloo.
And I gotta say, though, maybe the black shirt under is actually... Regular Starfleet should have gone with that.
Yeah,
I like it.
Looks really good.
Sharp as hell.
Because the gray is such a weird, purpley gray.
Yeah.
I never understood that color. I did wonder if her having just the one glove on for a while was a subtle Khan reference.
I thought it was a tribute to Michael Jackson.
Because that thing is that she pulls off one glove like Khan does in Wrath of Khan, and then she eventually puts it back on.
Yeah, I imagine it's because she's always ready for a duel.
Or that.
Gotta have your slapping glove ready. It's true.
But yeah, I love Dark Voyager. It's... Again, it's something I kind of had said, and they said in the thing, is like, aside from Lieutenant Paris being a hornball, none of this is right. And then later he's like, none of this is right. Lieutenant Paris, but...
Yeah, I liked some of the thing, having the Dark Doctor use a neural solvent or whatever he calls it to melt the dude's brain.
And I love Chakotay playing kind of good cop, but still bad cop.
He's the closest thing to a nice person in this universe.
Yeah, my people are enlightened.
And again, being not the mirror universe, they got to do this horrifying torture solvent instead of, it would have had to have been an agonizer if it was the mirror universe. So again...
Yeah, they get to do some new stuff.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have had to have been
but
they would have developed new tech
They
eventually.
would have, because you have to, because it's the mirror universe.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a checklist of things you have to do in a mirror episode.
Yeah. And again, I say as someone who enjoys the mirror universe, but it's nice to not be constrained by existing rules.
I also, something I appreciate about this episode is it's not between the Vaskins and the Kyrians. It's not really clear
who sucks.
Who sucks?
Yeah,
both suck.
Both
of them.
They both because who was Tendrin? Was that the Tedrin?
Yeah.
Tedrin was the rebel leader, the Kyrian leader.
Martyr.
You're right. Who his people portray him as a martyr, but the Vaskins and reality seems to indicate that he was more of a
shit stirrer.
A shit stirrer.
That's the technical term.
And then the ambassador guy, who is just... It's weird how they portray him, because he's like a dick, but then kind of comes around. And in reality, he was a little worse, because he just killed Tedrin in cold blood.
Yeah.
In actual events.
Jump on that opportunity. He's here. I could just kill him. So I will.
And it's like, because all we really know about the Kyrians... for real, quote-unquote, comes from what the Doctor is told by the ambassador fella, and he's not trustworthy, because he hates these guys.
And I like, so a nice touch that I assume was done intentionally, or at least I assume it was, is when the Doctor is doing his recreation, he's including events that he wasn't present for, like the meeting between Janeway and the guy in her ready room, and I felt like the way that they wrote Janeway in that scene... and the way that Kate Mulgrew portrayed it was not... It felt a little different. It felt a little like...
Like the Doctor had written her?
Like the Doctor had made her,
super nice.
A little more like, of course
nice.
We'll help you.
That's
what we
perfect.
do.
Yeah, it felt very much like the Doctor, okay, he's trying his best, but he's doing a little... His bias is seeping into this as well.
Yeah, I bet you Janeway was a little less eager to trade with these people. to say like, what do I would like to help you, but what will it mean for us if we do?
Right.
Will your enemies attack us? Because I don't want to get involved in that.
Yeah, because that scene in the Ready Room didn't feel like real Janeway to me. Like it felt like a like you say, like a
Sugary.
like a
Sugar-coated.
sugar-coated version of Janeway. Yeah.
What I did like, what felt like maybe was a him embellishing moment, and then it was immediately undercut, was when he's like, I'll go in first. And the guy's like, oh, your crew certainly is heroic. And then he's like, oh no, I'm invulnerable. Like, it's fine.
Mm.
So at first you're like, oh, he's bigging himself up, but then no, he immediately has the dialogue of like, no, I just can't be killed.
Do you think his kind of sugar-coating, sweetening his portrayal was also evident in the call up the EMH, have all the stuff we're trading to the assholes ready in Cargo Bay 1. He's like, they're already there. It's like, no, they're fucking not.
That was just to save time.
Yeah. Yeah. I
edited for television.
I like to imagine that the Doctor went through a few iterations of this simulation before he settled on one. Like in the first one, like he had like a long flowing mane and hair.
Yeah, and the other guy was like, I already know you're bald.
Ah,
Fuck.
Yeah, I thought, I don't like to think too deeply into like, okay, how do the Kyrians know so much about Voyager from having evidently just performed one raid and like stolen some equipment? Like they know a ton about Voyager.
They stole some logs and shit.
They did say they found like a schematic.
Yeah, they found a schematic, but like they knew about Mars, like
and how much Chakotay hates pudding.
And the Kazon, who they would have never met, because again, we're like a good 10 years from Kazon space now, thanks to Cass.
Yeah. So
Thank you, Cass.
I mean, like maybe there was just like other, like you say, like logs or just
something,
like database, like a copy of the database, something that they had.
Yeah, some of it could also have just been stuff that got warped through the years because someone told somebody, and then because this person knew it now, they wrote it down wrong. Like a 700 game of telephone. How about year game of telephone?
Yeah, well, it sounds like, whatever the war that ensued, like, destroyed a lot of shit. So it would make sense that, any exact records might have been damaged or, turned into, like, oral histories for a while.
I was gonna say, I hope the first iteration of this story was, like, Homer style. And it was like, come Muse, sing to me the tale of that bitch Janeway.
Yeah, it reminds me of, there's a play that I've seen. It's called Mr. Burns.
Yes!
And it's all about, the summary is...
Post-apocalyptic thing.
There's a post-apocalyptic world. We don't know the apocalypse. And it's told in the 3 acts, and each act is progressively longer after the apocalyptic event. And each act is people telling each other the story of the Simpsons episode Cape Fear.
Oh, that's a good one.
And so quotable too.
Yeah, so like in the first scene, it's pretty close to like an accurate retelling of the episode, and then but like by the third scene, it's just like this bizarre kabuki performance of
with all the wrong characters.
Yeah, the wrong characters.
Nothing is like the episode.
Yeah, and it's a fun play.
The character wasn't introduced until season 17.
Yeah.
What is which episode is that?
That's
Fear?
the Sideshow Bob.
Sideshow Bob they're on the houseboat. They're in the witness protection. When I tap your foot and say hello, Mr. What was
Johnson?
Thompson. Mr. Thompson. You smile and nod.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Thompson. I think he's talking to you.
Fucking classic. I've never seen it, because by all accounts it is a fucking horrible movie. But there's that film that's like, it's a post-apocalypse caused by dragons coming back somehow.
Neat.
Yeah, apparently the film is bad despite the premise.
Dragons coming back.
Yeah, somehow
dragons. They were here before.
Yeah, they apparently. Yeah, I might have it wrong, but there's definitely dragons.
Yay!
In the modern world, they destroy humanity, and I guess there's a scene where they're like entertaining the kids, so they're like telling them stories, but they're like acting out Star Wars, things like that. So it's a similar idea, but
that.
Yours sounds better, frankly.
Yeah.
It is insane.
I don't know. I often dream of the day when the dragons come back.
We saw it. They did it at the Lyric a few years ago.
I just want to say Christian Bale's in the dragon movie.
Neat.
Dragonheart's a good dragon movie.
But yeah, I don't know. So I kind of feel like that's partially what happened, but my guess is that every time, because this story has been evidently kept alive by the Kyrians, every time it's been retold, the Kyrians come off looking better.
Yeah, more and more angelic every telling.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, Janeway came just as we were about to feed all these orphans.
Yeah, and I find it like where in this episode, like this episode could have been written today. I mean, you mentioned CRT during the intro, and it's like it's so relevant.
Yeah.
You know how we tell history. Like I got to give the writers credit. I got to give Tim Russ credit for directing it the way he did. It's really well done because we don't really have a definitive point of view as like what is the truth.
Yeah.
And we don't know who is the actual bad guy. I mean, or like there's bad guys on both sides.
Janeway.
Yeah, but there are also fine people on both sides.
There's fine
Jake.
people
I'm
on
sure
both
you'll
sides.
find.
I suppose that's really the key difference is that, like, I feel like the people who are mad about quote-unquote CRT are actually just racists.
They're fucking shitheads.
Like, there are no... With ours, that's the difference. Is like, there aren't good people
but
on both sides.
if you had told the story that way, it would be easier to dismiss
Yeah.
this story, the Star Trek story, and
Yeah.
to be like, oh well, this is just political.
Yeah.
But like now you've created a story that we can listen to, and that like people on any side can like watch this and be like, oh yeah, that all
Yep.
revisionist history is fucked up.
It is.
And it can actually start a conversation without being overtly about Earth politics and and race in America, which is obviously I think what was what I thought most of.
It was definitely, it's interesting because it was definitely part of it, but also again not the whole of it because
Yeah, there's that line at the end where one of them says, "This isn't about race," and the other says, "It's always about race."
Yeah.
Were any of the writers on this episode people of color? Do we know?
No idea.
I don't know. Here's the thing I know about the original pitch. Nothing like this episode. Surprising everyone.
We gotta start keeping track of how many times that's the case.
Yeah, I want to say every
Okay.
time credit goes to Braga, but I don't.
When did 7 of 9 get cut the fuck in half? Because I feel like there have been several times now where that was in the original pitch
They
and it
keep
got erased.
wanting to cut 7 of 9 in half. No, here we go. Originally, the Doctor would be reactivated sometime in the future. Same so far.
Sure.
And find out that he spurred on an artificial intelligence rights revolution. And he learns about like kind of the aftermath of what happened there. That's all I really know. But they said they basically said, let's not do that. It's too close to Data, which I'm not sure how. Maybe with Data with the not isomorphs.
Oh, the
exocomps.
Yes,
but I don't know. But
I feel like they eventually resurrect some semblance of that idea in a future episode.
Is it an author or maybe.
See, what's interesting is, unlike so many times where you're like, and here was the original premise, and we go, what the fuck? I also kind of want that episode.
Yeah, because that sounds really interesting.
But I also want this one. Like, I love this episode. Not to say anything bad about this one, like, but normally we're just like, oh, thank God they didn't make that one. It's like, can I have both? Like,
well, yeah, like, what if the Doctor had woken up and he was hailed as a hero of, like, oh yeah, you're what inspired us to kill all of our biological masters.
Yay!
700 years ago.
Kill all
and
humans.
he's like, I didn't want you to kill people. Fuck!
Yeah, he's greeted by Emperor Bender.
There's statues of him everywhere, like crushing human
skulls. On a throne of human skulls. On the one hand, I'm flattered. On the other hand, oh God.
This throne of human skulls isn't that comfortable.
Well, I can imagine one where like there's a race of artificial beings that are like, the ruling class, and there's like pockets of humans that are like impoverished and subjugated, and he's like, no, you shouldn't subjugate the humans. You should live together and not be like that.
We make the humans do jobs that are too dangerous for robots. What? Anything involving magnets. Oh, okay.
Oh, those kinds of things. Yeah, it's also kind of fascinating because, it can be argued that this is the first episode of Trek that doesn't feature both any human characters, because they're all holograms.
True.
Or any of the regular characters from the show.
Yeah, because it's not even really the Doctor.
Yeah, because he's a backup.
Which is
That's true.
Is this the first time in Star Trek where there's backups of anything?
Well, it's the first time in Voyager. Because remember, in fucking Prometheus episode there.
Yeah, they had to send him to the...
And they were trying to make a new one. No one told Tom there was a backup.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just to fuck him off, Like, Tom's saying he wants the Doctor back.
Maybe this is what Kim ended up actually building.
Oh, there we go. Realize it's a good idea to have
maybe
He just hooked up an external.
the events of... Maybe their encounter with the Kyrians happened before the Prometheus episode.
Oh, that's true. We don't know when it happened exactly.
Are we talking Message in a Bottle?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, it happened, but maybe that happened before Message in a Bottle, and there is only one backup unit.
There we go.
And now it's been stolen.
That works.
So that's why they didn't have it in Message in a Bottle. But yeah, that backup unit seems pretty fucking useful.
Yeah.
I hope they back it up frequently. But now it's gone. Whoopsies.
Well, apparently it must back up fairly regularly if he had memories up to
the attack.
That during which the device was stolen.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like the Cylons, is when he left the ship, he was automatically uploaded.
Yeah.
I know, wrong show.
Yeah, but it could also be argued, and this is kind of interesting, that final scene where we're seeing the Kyrians in their distant future, even more distant than the future with the museum, looking back, that could be, depending on when it is, because we don't know exactly when it is, the furthest into the future that we see in Trek, except for possibly the short Trek Calypso.
No, Discovery's further out.
No, it is not.
It's not more than 700 years. I thought it was 1,000 years from...
Season 3 and 4 of Discovery is in the 32nd century.
Yeah, so what century is this?
So what Amy said is the events, most of the episode that we're seeing are events that take place in like the 30 something.
3074.
Oh, right, but the future.
And then the future.
You're right. I'm sorry. You're right. You're absolutely right.
And I think I've always assumed that that's like another 700 years ahead or something, because it's like he was here for a long time and then he fucked off, and it's in like he's a historical figure, so I'm gonna guess that it's several hundred more years after.
You're right. Absolutely right.
That's very likely.
It would have been cool is if in that final scene, if all of the people, or if maybe not all of the people, but if some of the people had a mix of Kyrian and Vascan features.
Yeah, that was the one thing. It's like they're also all in like the same costumes. Yeah. That was a little
I think it would have been cool. It's like, oh yeah, no, not only did like
the culture shifted a little.
The culture shifted. Yeah. And like we're like interbreeding and having families.
Yeah, like how in Discovery we meet the half Cardassian, half human, half Bajoran, half several other different things woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we get all those Ferengi that are descended from Quark and Grilka there. Or whatever her name is.
Yeah, we love Grilka.
Didn't I tell you that?
No, I didn't.
That was a fan theory to explain their appearance in Discovery. They're actually...
Okay.
They're very distant Klingon Ferengi hybrids.
That's somewhat terrifying. I assumed Ferengis laid eggs.
I feel like we had that discussion.
I'm sure they're mammals.
I don't know. They live on a swamp planet.
Mammals live in swamps.
Look at Yoda.
Name one.
Yeah, Yoda.
Oh, yes. Famous real-life mammal, Yoda.
You said name one, and I was just going to say snakes.
Okay. Floridians. Swamp Thing. Wait, no.
God,
yeah, something that has always bugged me slightly about this show, though, is how the museum has basically a holodeck.
Yeah.
Yet when they're giving museum tours, they watch the simulation through a window.
Well, they don't want to interfere with the event.
Well, they
could
have
just
had like the tour group standing off to the side.
Listen, you gotta have the kids keep their fucking hands off it, you know?
It seems like a waste. It seems like they could have just made a TV version, like a TV show, and had actors play Janeway.
It's probably more expensive. Museums don't have great budgets, you know?
But they have a budget for a holodeck and all that?
Well, okay, like, listen, I understand what you're saying, but if you're paying the actors to do the simulation 4 times a day, every fucking day, true. Holodeck expensive,
I'm saying like a TV show. Like, they film it once.
I thought you were talking about live actors.
Yeah, like a reenactment.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
Can it be animatronic, like, what is it at Disney? The Hall of Tomorrow?
Oh, that would have been great. the Hall of Presidents, like that?
No, what's the...
It's
a great big beautiful tomorrow.
The Carousel of Progress.
Carousel of Progress.
And here I am thinking of Looney Tunes cartoons. I'm like, yeah, the Home of Tomorrow. No, wait.
Yeah, you just sit in a chair and it rotates around. And...
So, a list of swamp-dwelling mammals.
Oh, are the platypus
Yes, the platypus is one of them.
Live in them? Wait. Let me see. Beavers?
No,
they live in...
So here we go. We got the Babirusa, which is a strange pig-like animal.
Cute.
Babirusa?
Wait,
Show
it's
Jake
got
the piggy.
weird-
Oh, he's not very cute.
Let me see.
like 3 horns.
No,
it's like a
they're
tricerapig.
cute.
That's
Maybe they're
not...
babies.
That looks
Find
like
a
a
baby
fucking...
one.
It does. It looks like a dinosaur.
A little
Fuck
monkey
me.
called a mangabe. Platypus. That's a bird. The fishing cat, not the fisher cat.
Platypuses are not
I'm
birds,
sure a
Chris.
ton of rodents.
The black bear sometimes lives in swamp areas.
Black bears
Not
can
too
live
picky,
anywhere,
I guess, huh?
Yeah. And something called a marsh rabbit.
Oh, find a baby better.
Oh, yeah.
Is a marsh rabbit like a marsh hare?
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting back to this, I was getting lots of like distant origin vibes when they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll change our views accordingly." I'm like, not the Voth. The Voth wouldn't do that.
Yeah, no, the Voth are not open-minded at all.
Yeah, I was actually surprised Corwin came around so quickly.
Yeah, very quickly.
I think.
That would have been too long a damn episode otherwise.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's just like days later, you know what, EMH, I was thinking about what you said about Mars.
Well, I think he's a man of science, you know. If when new evidence is presented, he'll amend his views accordingly.
Well, yeah, but like, how many times do people actually do that?
True.
Well,
For example, we know now that Jenna, whatever the fuck her name's, that whole thing about vaccines and autism is bullshit, but complete bullshit that was fabricated, and yet there are still people that believe it.
Yeah, well, those people are not
Scientists,
yeah.
There are probably
Right?
some scientists that believe it.
Well,
Dr. Oz is probably on board, and I'm sure he's a real doctor.
Dr. Rushby. He sadly was a very respected surgeon for a long time. Then he sold out.
He needs a surgery to remove his ass from his head.
Seriously.
No, wait, his head from his ass.
Oh,
Same
The
thing.
Pulaski
It could be
maneuver,
both.
you
It could be
know.
both.
It could be both, you're right. Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, you know, that's the thing is like it just presented so immediately with like really hard to deny. It's like, oh fuck. We also don't know exactly how long it was, but he's had to spend at least some time. It also, I suppose, helped that as he admits later that like before he fully understood the narrative, he was fascinated just by the idea of Voyager.
Yeah, that's true.
And had maybe even run around, you know, being like, "Oh, look at me, I'm
Captain
I'm
Janeway,
yeah,
pew pew.
yeah." And only later was like, "Oh, they were bad." Except now, oh wait, they weren't. So
Pew pew. I don't know. I like to think that, you know, it was... I don't know if there's anyone else who works at this museum.
seems not.
Question marks. But someone else to say like, "Oh, Corin, how are you doing with decoding that new thingamajigger?" He's like, "Nothing. I have made no progress at all. And when did I broke it too, so no one else can."
I liked, you know, some of the background props that they had in the museum, you know, other because you know there was the Voyager exhibit, but it was like must have been a larger museum because they also had like a pterodactyl.
Yes, I saw the pterodactyl.
And,
I was like, oh, I guess I'll let that one
some
go.
large primate
They're
monster.
taking, as you
skeleton.
see here, a large canary, which would have lived on Mars
Being
when
fair.
the Voyager crew was alive.
Whatever that skeleton was, they did a good job of making it look like maybe it had been an alien.
To me,
The pterodactyl was just a pterodactyl.
I was actually kind of wondering if maybe they were related to the exhibit, and they were like, "Oh, these are things from
Mars.
from Voyager's homeworld. Here's a Martian pterodactyl. Here's a Martian Mugatu skeleton."
Yay!
You know,
It's just there's a fucking horgong somewhere.
mm-hmm.
We don't know what this was used for. We think it was a children's toy. Ah!
Like you said, though, speaking of children, we didn't have
Oh.
Roxanne this episode because she was busy whelping.
Mm.
And it made me kind of sad because I did want to see
Yeah.
Mirror.
what the
Dark.
mirror...
Dark
Torres
Yeah,
would have been.
Dark
I was
Torres.
sort of surprised to hear the Doctor be so like, and that B'Elanna, what a lovely, vulnerable creature. I don't feel like I ever see them together that much.
Yeah, he's just being whimsical in general. He probably would have been whimsical about any of them
Yeah,
at
I
that
think
point.
because to him, like he said, he'd just seen them very recently, but they've all been dead for centuries.
And that must be...
that was a good scene.
Yeah, that must be just so weird, you know? It's like... Because it's something you have to know logically but not understand emotionally.
Yeah. It's like why I also really love that end line where they say, like, and then the EMH went back to go find the Alpha Quadrant and check that it was still there and not destroyed by the Dominion, and see what happened.
Actually, in reality, he's dead because someone knocked his backup module off a table and it shattered.
No.
So that's it. Oh, he went to
He's
the Alpha Quadrant.
He's backup programs all the way down.
We
now.
sent him to live on a farm.
Halfway home, his ship blew up when the burn happened.
No.
Oh.
Well, no, I actually thought about the burn, but it's like, no, but if it's a few hundred years later, he's fine.
We don't know how long he's
We don't
stuck
know. I
around
know.
for.
I'm going to tell myself he's fine.
At some point, though, he must stop being able to get new updates, right? So at what point does he get sent the big erase file that makes him not work anymore?
Wow, that's
When
like
did they Google Play that poor
that's
fucker?
like in that Black Mirror episode.
Which one?
Oh shit, you
All
weren't
of
on that
them.
episode.
Oh, right, no, I wasn't.
The Callisto.
I haven't.
Yeah, the
I don't know
Callisto.
why I
Was it
asked you
USS
what it's
Callisto?
called. I haven't
Or is
seen
it
any of
Callisto?
them.
No, I can't remember. Good episode, though.
Great episode.
That's the only episode I've seen that's quite
No
good.
Robot Dog. I do love Robot Dog.
The only one I've seen is the one about like uploading your consciousness after death.
Oh, that
That's
one's
the only
sweet,
one I've
too.
seen. What is that one called?
They're all
Juniper.
the same. It's all the same show.
Is it saying
Every
Juniper?
episode has a little. They stick
maybe.
a little thing on their temple. That's the plot of Black Mirror. Stick a thing on your temple and go into the Matrix. Damn it! They're all the same. They're good. I like the show, but it does get a little samey after a while.
Lies. They're all great.
Callister.
Oh God!
It's the USS Callister.
Oh yeah,
Goddamn.
with Meth Damon.
Yeah.
And Aaron Paul, whom we love.
Unlike Star Trek, which is always different, and we didn't just name like 6 episodes that were exactly the same as the one we just watched, Unforgettable.
Critique. I'm not critiquing.
I
I'm
mean,
just thinking-
I'm not saying it. I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, speaking of putting things in your mouth.
Oh, are we?
People used to eat mummies.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, I think. Well,
What
shit.
did they eat them with?
Fuck.
I know they used them to
Why?
make paint. Hold on. Maybe I'm thinking of Futurama.
I feel like you would
Yeah, I was
just.
saying that. I was like, there was an episode where Fry ate a mummy.
I feel like you would just die if you did
Didn't
that.
someone smoke one like a cigar?
Well,
in
that sounds
something?
good.
Since the 12th century, Europeans had been eating Egyptian mummies as medicine.
No, stop! Don't.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
it's just like really
Does that
old
make
jerky.
them cannibals?
Yes, it's people jerky.
And
What
just
else would it make
Before
them?
you think I'm getting it, this is from the Smithsonian Magazine website, so...
I mean, people eat all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah, but damn, mummy.
I feel like the older something is,
The
the
more
more
people wanna
suitable,
put it in their mouth.
the more acceptable it is to do weird things with it. Not anymore. I don't think.
So we were trying to segue to historical figures.
Speaking of doing horrible things with people from the past, our blogtivity this week, because we're out of ships finally. I'm not going to look at more
No
ships
more
for a while. I'm
ships.
done with ships for a little while.
Stupid ships.
Who needs them?
Ames doesn't give a shit.
What we do need is people from the past to reference in Star Trek for fucking reasons, mostly to poor conclusions. So today, because we took a trip to the museum and started looking at history, we wanted to look at all the times we visit historical figures in various episodes of Star Trek, and if they do a good job or a bad job. Spoilers, I feel like it's going to mostly be a bad
Mostly
job.
they're bad.
I mean, is there anybody? I mean, obviously the top answer is Evil Lincoln.
Is he the top answer for you?
That was a Futurama joke.
Oh, shit.
There's no evil Lincoln in Star Trek.
There is evil Lincoln in
No,
Star Trek.
regular
That's
Lincoln.
regular Lincoln.
Well, I think we talked about this off air recently, but of course, it's like that meme from Brooklyn Nine-Nine where it's like, oh, you're a fan of this? Name, like, oh, you're a Star Trek fan? Name 7 starships.
The
Enterprise. That's my fault. Set the bar too low. Now it's like, name 7 historical figures in Star Trek. Flint?
Yeah.
That's my fault. I set the bar too low.
That's a good one. We should make that meme if no one has.
True.
Should.
Because he was a bunch of people. I forget who exactly.
Yeah.
Da Vinci was
Poor
one of
use.
them, I think.
Da Vinci was
Yeah.
one.
Abe Lincoln, Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday.
Well, these
None
are...
of these were Flint.
Yeah.
Oh, I
yeah,
thought
sorry.
you
We're
were
talking
talking
about
about-
people Flint had been.
Oh, sorry.
Brahms.
Was he Jesus, or am I mixing it up with that other movie?
No, that was from the movie. That wasn't from the episode.
He was
Terrible
Methuselah.
fucking movie.
That's right. He's the basis for Methuselah.
Was he not Socrates? Another one.
He knew Moses. He was King Solomon.
Solomon. That's what I'm thinking of.
He knew Socrates. he was Alexander the Great. Jesus
Obviously.
Christ. So yeah, it's God knows who he knew and who he... The guy was Assassin's Creed.
Do we count Apollo as a historical figure?
I
No.
don't, but you're welcome
I
to.
mean, in universe he was. In universe he was the literal Greek god.
There was, of course, Mark Twain and Jack London.
Both bad examples.
Amelia Earhart.
Are we just listing them, or are we going to discuss them at all?
Well, we can
Are
do
we supposed
both.
to tell about?
Yeah.
Aren't we supposed to talk about our faves?
Yeah, or the one that you want to talk about, because I don't know if I have a favorite, because they're all garbage.
They're all bad. Yeah.
Okay, I got one good one. We'll start here. Starting here with the one good one, Stephen Hawking.
Oh, yeah, and the only one
As
that played
himself.
himself.
Yeah, the only actor, the only human being to have ever played themselves on Star Trek, Stephen Hawking. Even though I think it's just briefly in a hologram scene.
Yep.
I think they're playing
Yeah, with
poker.
Data, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poker with Data and
Newton.
Einstein.
Einstein.
Newton, Einstein, Hawking.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of an acceptable little cute nudge scene.
Yeah.
And it's extra nice that they actually got Stephen Hawking.
Yeah,
He's
and
not
it
being a
hasn't
nerd.
aged poorly like the Elon Musk reference.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
Oh,
Does
God.
that count as a...
I mean,
No,
he doesn't
we luckily
appear.
didn't actually see his horrible,
he's-
twisted scumbag face.
He's mentioned, but
Damn.
Alleged horrible, twisted scumbag. Whatever. Fucking jackass.
I don't think anyone that's going to tell on us to Elon Musk listens to this podcast. I mean,
sure
unless
not.
Elon does.
Yeah,
then
Elon
we're
might
in
be a
big
listener,
trouble.
and he's about to buy our podcast, or at least threaten to buy it.
And
Enter a deal and
renege
then back out.
immediately. Yeah.
But get it. We'll put something in the contract so
many-
we'll get a few bill.
How many billions of dollars can we get out of this?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Hawking's a good one.
I can't think of a lot of other good ones.
Yeah, well, especially because, like, all the ones in the Lincoln episode,
Savage Curtain.
yeah, are, like, cartoonish, like, 60s good guy versions. So it's, it's just pure, upstanding Lincoln. And
Serac.
Serac, who isn't real, and...
The other two aren't real.
Yeah,
either.
Lincoln was the
yeah.
only real person.
Yeah, because the other was Kahless, and then Colonel Green,
Yeah,
and then some woman.
yeah. Were any of the bad guys real?
You
think
said
so.
Colonel Green, and I thought, I told you
Oh.
I didn't do it.
I think they
Which
had
I know
Genghis
is-
Khan.
Oh yeah, Genghis
There's
Khan.
That's right.
Genghis
Which,
Khan.
again, him being, like, automatic bad guy is just kind of,
Yeah.
very much a...
They had balls. There would have been a Hitler.
Oh, damn.
But then
And it
Spock
would've
wouldn't have
been
known which
Spock's
side to be
Yeah,
on.
Spock would have been like Captain.
Yeah, they do
Hold on.
better with Genghis Khan and Bill and Ted, so...
Yes. Oh, man, it's fun. I haven't watched that in
We
years.
should rewatch Bill and Ted.
It's a good movie.
Can we do a 10 forward effect
Yes!
somehow?
Yes?
I mean, it's about time travel. There's
Yeah.
time travel in Star
We
Trek.
got lots of time travel.
Fuck yes, let's do Bill and Ted.
Yay!
And
I actually haven't
if we-
seen. I don't know that I've seen either of them.
How about
Did
the
we
newest
watch one of them?
I swear I made you watch
There's
them.
3.
I haven't seen the third one.
I haven't
yet.
seen the third one. I heard great things.
No.
I
Great
also heard it was
things.
good.
I haven't
yeah.
heard anything.
Fuck it, let's do the whole trilogy.
Excellent, bogus things.
And the head of Section 31 is Death. Not that we need the
Oh,
connection,
that's
but
right. Our friend Sloan, right?
yes, whose ass you've seen if you've seen Die Hard 2.
I haven't seen Die Hard.
It's not very good,
It's
to
on
be
the
honest.
plane.
Rats.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, historical figures.
Yeah, speaking of other things that aren't very good, let's circle back around to Amelia Earhart, because fuck, I hate that episode.
It could
Yeah,
have
it's
been
a
good.
terrible episode, but I actually, I don't think it's a terrible episode, and just having Amelia Earhart in it at all is stupid. But I thought the portrayal was okay. The
actress did a fine job.
That's
yeah.
fair. I just feel like
And as we discussed,
including her was a mistake.
Yeah,
as we discussed in the episode, having her partner in crime not in a flight suit appears to have been historically accurate.
I knew that was going to come up.
Every photo of him, she's in one and he isn't. Yeah, Mark Twain was a goof.
Yeah, I think, and I'll never be done railing on Time's Arrow. Partly because I know Chris loves it so much.
Well, again,
His favorite episode.
as I have to always explain, first half, second half is trash.
Here's
Here's the thing. Oh, go ahead.
No, you tell your thing first.
I was going to say, here's the thing. Ames knows. She just likes to make you explain
Oh, I know, but the
it.
audience might have forgotten, so I need to
Yes,
remind
they
them.
forget.
And also, while I thought Twain was, I don't know, he very borderline. Jack London was over-egging the pudding. It's like, you already have Twain, you don't need the Jack London cameo.
Yeah,
Fucking stop.
bad joke. I just thought the acting of Twain was distracting, and there was never motivation for his character to do a fucking thing that he did.
Yeah, no, admittedly, he in no way needed to be there.
No.
Yeah.
It could have been just random guy.
Best historical figure was that handsome card player, though.
Ducat?
Yes.
Yay! He's not a historical
I
figure,
know.
but I
I just
good
want
for
an
him.
excuse to bring him up.
Yay!
But yes, Caitlin, as you were saying, we get pretend versions of the OK Corral people.
Right, yeah.
Those are probably the best ones.
Honestly, their portrayals aren't bad, but it's because the episode had them do exactly what they needed to do for the episode. Check.
Yeah, they were just kind of there, and they were, mostly there to be part of this aliens weird game. I don't know enough about the historical event to really be able to say anything on it.
Oh, none of it was accurate.
Yeah, no, that thing was based again on what had become a legend.
It was a fun episode, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I love
it's a doofy episode, but I like it.
I love that episode. That's one of my favorite TOS episodes.
Well, there you go. I rest my case.
We got Caterina.
Da Vinci.
I mean, he's a holographic version of himself, but I'll count. Yeah, that's true. So I guess we can count it.
Used like in such bonkers ways, but I love John Rhys Davies.
Yeah.
I wish they'd given him better material to work with.
I was calling him Brian Blessed earlier.
Whoops.
Remember?
Yes.
Similar category.
Blustery big Englishman.
Yeah, big Englishmen with booming voices.
Oh man, there's still time to get Blessed on Star Trek. Just saying. Oh my god, he'd make a great Klingon.
Wait, he's alive?
Oh yeah, he's old as fuck, but he's alive.
Shit. I'm always surprised when people that were big in the 70s and were adults are still around, even though that isn't actually that long ago.
Well, the other thing too is
60 years.
Just
50 years, whatever. That's a long time.
Facial hair just makes you look older too, and he's always got a big fucking beard. So
a great big bushy beard.
Yeah, I was I'm shocked that Sean Phillips is still with us.
Who's Sean Phillips again?
She was in Dune.
She played the Bene Gesserit.
Oh, holy shit! The Mother Superior.
The Mother Superior, the one that did
what?
The
She was
Gom
90
Jabbar.
then.
She was 90. So even years before that, she was in another show that Brian Blessed was in, the I Claudius.
Why do you?
He was in I
Claudius
Claudius?
a lot.
I fucking love I Claudius.
Have you seen
I don't
I
think I've ever
Claudius?
seen it.
No.
Can we do a
something
10 forward on that?
It would be up your alley.
It's a whole miniseries. It's one of my. I mean, the cast: Derek Jacobi, Patrick Stewart, John Hurt. Sean Phillips, Brian Black. The list goes on.
So,
the fucking talent in that
I'm
show.
in. I watch it.
I had the misfortune of having to take Latin for a while in high school, and our Latin book inside the cover actually had a photo of Patrick Stewart in I Claudius
With his goofy curly wig.
Yep.
He's great in it though. Speaking of, we don't see the I Claudius characters in Star Trek, but we do see. Let's see. There's the episode of when the Doctor decides to be a Darkling, and he has Gandhi and Lord Byron and Socrates.
I forgot about all of that.
Let's get dangerous.
That wasn't a great episode. So.
Not a great episode. I think a okay use of those figures though.
I feel like Byron could have been a bigger dick. Because Byron was a dick. I mean, Byron was so annoying. Mary Shelley invented science fiction just to get away from him.
Nice.
Shut up, Lord Byron. You asshole. Probably hitting on her all weekend. Trying to get her to do a 3-way with her and Percy.
I'd watch that.
The 3-way or that episode?
Yes.
Okay, great. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, and I think the scene where Gandhi's glitching and Socrates is split in half.
Oh yeah, that's all fucked up in a good
fun
way.
Scene.
Yeah, no, that's good.
What else? Oh, we see Freud. Data goes to Freud instead of Troy, and we're like, yes, that tracks.
Better choice.
Troy.
Is it?
I mean, honestly, it is, and that's not a compliment to Freud.
That's
it's
true.
a hologram of Freud that Data has basically told what to do. So probably better than either of them. So I think that was a fine use because
I forgot all about that.
Cute reference kind of thing, and it makes Troy look like shit. So
oh, poor Troy.
I mean, she was just a terrible therapist. That's all.
Yeah, but she could have been good, but they wrote her like shit.
They wrote her shittily, yeah.
It's so upsetting.
It's not her fault.
Especially, again, I hate to go back, I know it's not what we're talking about.
Do it,
but then when we see, what is it called?
Face
Second
of the
Skin?
Enemy.
Yeah, that. When she's so fucking good!
So good.
Marina Sirtis got done so fucking dirty by that show.
Did.
Yep.
God damn it. Terry Farrell. Every fucking woman of consequence.
Yeah. I mean, Gates McFadden and...
Yep. Well, they chased her away for season 2 of the whole fucking
and
show.
then they fucked Pulaski by bringing her back and pissed Caitlin off.
I don't think Mulder would have come back.
Well, but again...
I don't know. She might have.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
We don't know. But also, I'm sure she would have if she'd had a better experience on the show. It just sounded like she
Wait, why was her experience bad? What happened?
I'm sure because they sucked. Because the producers
Yeah,
sucked.
remember those first 2 seasons
rough.
what nightmare behind the scenes everything. It
No,
sounds
I
like
completely forgot.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
It's
William Shatner presents William Shatner's Chaos on the William Shatner Bridge.
Yeah.
Also.
Oh, yeah.
That's why season 3 gets so much better, because they got rid of all of Jean's friends.
From what
Bye.
From what I also have heard from that and other sources is that like the entire cast, with the exception of Patrick Stewart, were like irreverent goofballs.
Yay!
And are always like
I love
goofing
them.
off and
I
not.
love seeing clips of Frakes being ridiculous behind the scenes, and
He seems like he's
So
a fun
I could
dude.
imagine Diana Muldaur being not interested in those kinds of hijinks.
I'm a serious actor. Whatever.
all right. The last one I could think of to talk about in our Figures from History chat is in the most recent Q episode.
Oh right.
Where we, it's not the most recent, but the Q episode.
Lee? Is that who we meet? Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm
Sorry.
thinking of the other one, the one with Quinn.
Yeah.
Oh.
The name escapes me at the moment. But Newton pops up because Quinn had, dropped the apple on his head or something?
Something like that.
Something kind of silly, but very Q-y. So I wanted to bring that one up as well.
Yeah, and the other two weren't real people, right? It was like
Yeah, there was
some
Riker
random.
and a hippie.
Yeah, a hippie who like was
Ran-
at Woodstock.
Yeah,
And-
and saved Woodstock, right?
Basically, yeah.
Did
and
we
Riker was descended from a soldier that Quinn saved during the Confederate War, the
Civil War.
Civil
I
War.
believe it was called. Did
Yeah,
we
if we
meet
were calling it
anybody
that.
real in Gray and Q or whatever the fuck?
No,
No-
it was
no
all
one
just
real.
cues depicted
Oh,
as
okay.
Civil War figures so our tiny human brains could understand.
Oh, fair enough. Well,
Yeah, it's funny, like, how often they show up and how often they are just not good cameos.
Yeah.
Or used weirdly or poorly. Abe
Yeah.
Lincoln. Doesn't Abe Lincoln wind up with an arrow through his heart or something?
oh
I think he
dear.
gets stabbed in the back.
Hmm.
I think he's coming forward, and they're like, "Oh, there's Lincoln. He's coming back from peace talks," and then he just falls over with a sword in his back or something.
Well,
Like, oh no, they went poorly.
Poor Lincoln's walking by. He's like, finally, I didn't get shot today. Oh, fuck!
or alternately, to paraphrase Spaceballs, he gets shot in the head and his dying words are, "Oh no, not again."
Not again.
Too soon?
Was that also what the bowl of begonias thought in Hitchhiker's Guide?
Oh, I think so. Yes.
There's a
Is it begonias
reference.
or petunias?
Ooh, don't know.
Asking the hard-hitting questions
But
here
yes,
on
the bowl of
Star
flight.
Steer
Yes, not again. I think that is what it says.
Mm-hmm.
The explanation for that was very disappointing.
There's an explanation for that? Oh, that's right,
In
there
the
is.
fifth book, which no one
Yeah.
should read.
Rats. They're still good bits.
It's mostly not great.
I haven't read them.
Right. Could
Stop
you...
after 4.
Well, I
don't
read the
read.
first one.
Jake doesn't read.
I don't know how to read.
I'm completely illiterate.
Anybody else you guys could think of? I'm going to put all these up on our Tumblr, of course, so you can catch the whole list there. And my sass, my trademark Ames
Yeah,
sass.
I gotta admit, I thought there were gonna be a lot more, and there's like, I guess there really are. Like, they talk
Did
about
we bring up
people a
Einstein?
lot.
Well, Einstein hung out with Barclay for a day, and
I was going to say Moriarty, but he wasn't real, obviously.
Robin Hood. Wait.
Damn it.
I am not a merry man.
I mean, is Robin Hood, like, technically based on someone that might have existed?
That's
Is
debatable.
he? Really?
I feel like Nottingham, like, they have a statue of
Roddy.
Robin
Well,
Hood.
Nottingham is just, they're going all in on.
Well, yeah, it's their
That
it's,
one.
it's,
Tourist
it's,
boats.
it's their thing.
I will say, they have a tram system, and they don't call it the Nottingtram, which is just like, come on,
Oh.
guys.
But
Wow. The
yeah.
first time you made that joke was when we were in England 10 years ago, or whatever the fuck.
Wait, that?
6, according to Facebook.
Oh, thank you,
This
Facebook.
is the week we were there.
So,
No
yeah,
shit.
Oh,
really?
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to go back.
I think Robin Hood is mythical, but may have been based on somebody real. I don't know.
I don't
There's
know.
actually a fairly decent Doctor Who about that.
Oh. There's also another Doctor Who with the mythical.
Moriarty.
No, what's the
There's a good...
Van Gogh?
Oh, yeah,
Van
that's a
Gogh
good
is so
episode.
good. And,
Mythical painter.
and we got Mark Twain from them,
Mythical.
too. And it's that... Wasn't there Mark Twain in
Mark Twain.
Yeah, there was a Christmas Carol one. There was the Mark Twain guy. There was Mark Twain.
Why was he in,
And who?
in a Christmas
Dickens?
Carol?
Is he Dickens?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Yep. Wow. Whoops! Not quite, you dumb
Mark
bitch.
Twain's A Christmas Carol is a very different
I was gonna
story.
say.
I'm so
I bet it
sorry.
would be
I don't know what
great.
just happened to
True.
my brain.
Yeah, no, I guess that's it, though.
Yeah.
It's mostly...
It's a lot of TNG.
Yeah.
TNG went nuts with it.
Yeah. No, the only genuinely good one is Hawking playing himself.
I think it's mostly just because there's the behind the scenes charm factor.
Yeah, it was like he was a big fan of the show,
and also doesn't he kick everyone's ass at cards?
I don't remember.
I think he wins the hand they show.
Yeah, he does because he has a little robotic thing that slaps down the cards for him. So that was pretty fun.
And of course, he later plays himself on Futurama.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
He's passed now, right?
A couple years ago now.
I thought so. It's because what an incredible dude. Not to like sidetrack, but motherfucker was supposed to not live, to his 20s or whatever, and he lived for fucking ever, and he was brilliant.
Yeah, he's like most of his best work. I feel like after he was already,
on
confined
Star
to a
Trek.
chair.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, he was amazing.
After his stint as a cameo on Star Trek, he decided to get into science. He was inspired to study astrophysics.
I will say, honestly, I think worst is probably Jack London, because again, it's just like you've already got too much going on. This is unnecessary.
And also just making the portrayal was bad.
Yeah.
Gee whiz, Mr. Data.
Yeah.
What's incredibly sad is Amelia Earhart is the only woman on this list.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Which makes me very, very upset on her behalf as well.
Women just have to do more shit in history.
Woof.
Come on, ladies, let's get going. That was a joke. Listeners, don't pitchforks.
Don't actually get things going.
Yeah, that was a joke. There's no women in history.
Jesus Christmas. Yeah, maybe New Trek can drop some references to people that are, actually scientists who are women instead of Elon fucking Musk.
Fair, yeah. But also, do we need to revisit historical figures in Star Trek?
Oh, I don't need them to show up. Just name drop them.
Okay, name dropping is fine.
When they're doing the old 2 reels and a fake.
Yeah.
Zephram Cochrane, Lincoln, and Socrates.
Yeah.
No, it's like Lincoln, Socrates, and Shakshvar of Enid 6.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Shaka Khan.
And
I got really excited.
Shaka Khan.
Oh, yeah, no, she's a scientist in her spare time when she's not cranking out the hits.
Yeah.
Speaking of cranking out the hits, we're going to have more hits for you guys next week.
Woo! Hits keep coming.
Thank you all for listening to us blather for a very long time today. It was fun, though.
Yeah.
Like I said, check out all these up on our Tumblr, sshbpodcast.com, where I'll probably have found screen grabs-ish. But check out all of our great Tumblr posts there. You can also make sure you listen next week. We got more stuff for you guys next week. We're going to be talking about more Voyager episodes, getting very close to the end of season 4 now. It's crazy. The episodes are going to be Demon and One. So that's next week. Check out any of our other episodes. Maybe you missed some. We covered Alien recently. Make sure you listen to that, because they're all up on our SoundCloud or wherever you listen to podcasts. We're all over the place. We're also on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're online. I have the internet in my house.
Woo!
Until then, I think that's all I have to say. This has been your historical figure, Ames.
This has been your not so historical figure, Caitlin.
I'm trying to do
Foghorn Jake Horn over here.
I say.
We haven't had a good Foghorn Jake Horn in quite a while.
I don't know what
Mark
happened.
Twain?
I was
What
trying
you
to
were
do the
trying
Mark
to do?
Oh, that's
Twain
what that
voice.
was.
It ended up just sounded like...
I thought you were being a British elite from It's Always Sunny.
Or
That's very specific.
What's the guy in Family Guy who has the huge underbiter? How do you do?
Anyway, this is Mark Twain.
Good.
And this is Grublex Partheon of Dubitus 9.
Yep, 3 reels and a fake. Got him.
Oh my god.
Okay, we ready?
Okay, so
Chakotay.
Chakotay.
So I'm confused, because I swear I watched 2 episodes, but I only remember 1.
You stole my fucking joke from the intro. Motherfucking bitch.
Well, here's the thing.
joke.
I can cut it and just start with yours.
No, I mean,
yours at the
now
end,
it's
though.
ruined.
No, it isn't.
Now my extremely predictable joke is destroyed.
I've already forgotten the joke, so why don't you tell
Ah, you bitch!
Now is a staying in.